Let me paint you a picture. You're on the beach. You're amongst a number of swimmers. You're looking out into the open sea, and you're about to swim 1.5 kilometers. After that, you're hopping on your bike, you're cycling for 40 kilometers, and then you go out and finish it off with a 10-kilometer run. Now imagine this. 6 months before that, you have not swum in since you were 13, and you're 30 now. You just bought your bike, and you absolutely hate running. So that was me. That was me last year. I signed up for a triathlon, and I questioned it every single day. Leading up to that day, I kept asking myself, why am I doing this? I didn't sign up because I was athletic, or like as good as most people were. I didn't sign up because it was something I was particularly passionate about. In fact, I didn't even know what I was getting into until I was in the middle of all of it. But I did sign up because of 3 things. Number 1, I wanted to prove to myself that I can do hard things. Number 2, I wanted to know that going into this new decade of my life, I could still be happy as a beginner. And number 3, I wanted to know for myself that I can finish what I started. You see, before all of this, my late 20s, my lifestyle has completely changed. I started working really, really well, and I'm so glad that my career took off. I was busy working a lot, but at the same time, it came with a lot of pressure around my appearance. I would hear a lot of comments about what I should do, what I should wear, how much weight I should be putting on or losing. And it was really a lot. The stress was really taking a toll on my relationship with movement. Now, my turning point was when I found myself sleeping on the couch in my own living room because it was too hard to climb up the stairs and sleep in my bedroom. And I started thinking to myself, what happened to me? I used to love this so much. And so it was 2 a.m. and I went from my couch to my computer and I started looking up triathlons. How does that work? What can I sign up for? And I found one right before my birthday, my 30th birthday. And I decided to sign up for it. I decided on the spot that I would find a coach. And the next few months was humbling. Okay, imagine being mediocre at one sport, right? Now, I was mediocre at 3, okay? I started my swimming training again, and I was a competitive swimmer back in the day when I was 13, when I was younger than you guys. And I remember being so in love with the sport, and I took so much pride in it, but then I quit because I've gotten darker and darker, and living in the Philippines, you hear a lot of comments about your skin color, and it really made me stop. I asked my parents to let me stop swimming. And so when I went back into the pool, many, many years later, I found myself struggling so much. It was my first time back in a 50-meter pool, and I couldn't even cross it all the way to the end. And I kept thinking to myself, how am I going to do 1,500 meters in the open sea, where I'm right here in the middle, gasping for air? But then I kept pushing. I thought to myself, just one more stroke, just one more lap, one more workout, we'll figure it out. and things got easier the more I went. And I'm really glad that every day I tried to do the hard thing. And then we had cycling. I just bought my bike because I wanted to join my dad on his bike rides. But I was so scared of jeepneys and buses. Have you seen the roads here in Manila? Oh my gosh. And somehow I convinced myself that I could do this for 40 kilometers. And I remember there was one time that I got an invitation from friends. At this point, I'd only been doing my little loops in UP Diliman, I would cycle over there. But then they invited me to go for a long ride. It was 60 kilometers from Rizal all the way to Laguna. And I thought to myself, why? Why would I do that? Why would I put myself through that? But at the same time, I had to ask myself, if not now, when was I ever gonna learn, right? How many times do I get the chance to be asked to join something like that? And it was scary. I was shaking. I was so slow. I was with people who have been doing this for a long time, and I kept thinking to myself, wow, I really suck at this. But I was happy to be a beginner. I was so happy that, again, turning 30, I was able to do new things that I never thought I could do. It was really never too late to start. And then there was running, of course. Oh my gosh, anyone in their running era right now? It seems like everybody has been running nowadays, and we love it. Personally, though, it has always felt unnatural to me because when I was growing up, whenever we would do team sports and we'd have trainings, running was looked at as a punishment. If you were late, you have to go run for 10 minutes. If you aren't able to do this, you have to run for 25 more. And I never developed a good relationship with running, but the only way I could do a triathlon is if I finished that leg. It was really difficult for me because in my head, I'd always thought to myself, I'm not a runner, I don't like this, I hate this, and it was just not my thing. But then I did sign up for that triathlon, and I had to tell myself time and time again, I have to finish what I started. So then I would run here and there. It was difficult. My body felt heavy. But then I found my community. I found people along the way who also loved it, who also struggled a little bit, who also, like me, ran the same pace, and it was amazing. It was amazing to understand and see that other people are also going through the same stuff as you at different paces. And it was absolutely enjoyable to see that I could challenge myself still to finish things like this. The next few months, I will tell you, they were not easy. In fact, I won't even tell you that I was the disciplined girl who showed up every single day and stayed hard. Not at all. Super far from that. Because every single day it was a struggle. It felt like a full-time job having 3 different sports, and then me trying to keep up with my career and showing up and trying to have a social life. But again, this was something that I did for myself and something that I wanted to know if I could still do. So on the day of the competition, I flew out all the way south of the Philippines with my bike and my little dream of becoming a triathlete. And it was amazing. I did my swim. It felt like I zoomed by. At this point, I felt like I could be a mermaid, right? And then I hopped on my bike and I started my 40-kilometer bike ride, and I thought to myself, wow, I really am so slow. Everyone is zooming past me. Everybody that I overtook during the swim, they're there now. But it was fine. I kept thinking to myself, how cool is it that I get to be a beginner and be able to do this right now and be next to these people? So okay, I was fine. I was enjoying myself. And then we get to the bike leg, the run leg. I'm about to start my 10 kilometers. It was so hot. People, the volunteers were pouring water on our heads because it was so hot. And then I noticed that there was blood trickling down my legs. Well, what are the chances, diba? I got my period that day. And I kept thinking to myself, this is the perfect excuse not to finish this. Because I went to the medic tent, and immediately they saw the blood, and they said, sit down, what happened to you? Are you okay? And I was like, I can quit this right now, and nobody would judge me, because I'm bleeding, right? Perfect excuse. But then, in that moment, my future in my head forked in two different directions. I could not finish my triathlon and I could just go home, be the same person. Or I could go the other way and continue and go home with a really cool story to tell. What do you think I did? Well, I'm here right now, so I'm telling the story, right? I grabbed a tissue. I grabbed a tissue from the medic tent, and I said, I'm fine. We're doing this. And it was slow, and it was painful, and it was so funny to me how I felt like people were going past me again and again and again. And out of 8 people in my age group, I was 8th place. Imagine that. But I was so proud because I finished what I started. And at the end of that, yes, I became a triathlete. I accomplished my goal. But what made me the most proud was that, number one, I learned that I can do hard things. I hated running. I was so scared of the bike. I was getting back to swimming. It was hard, but I did it. I learned that I could be a happy beginner. I could be in a situation, in a place where I was not the best at all, that I could learn so much from so many people and still enjoy my time. And I love that, because what else is life for, right? And lastly, I have proven to myself that I can finish what I started. And that's exactly what I did. What I learned through this experience truly was that every decision you make, no matter how big or small, no matter if it's as ambitious as trying out 3 different sports in a very busy time of your life, or something as simple as thinking if I should show up to my meeting today over Zoom, or should I go meet that friend? These little decisions are a vote to the person that you want to become. And the person that I wanted to become that time was somebody who did hard things, was a happy beginner, and who could finish what she started. Now, I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do, but I do have one question to ask you. Who do you want to become? Actually, that's 2 questions, because who do you want to become? And number 2, are your decisions taking you closer to that goal? Thank you so much, and see you guys on the starting line.